Welcome to the Scenario Podcast, your guide to mental health and well-being. Each episode, we uncover practical tools, discuss expert insights, and explore how supplements can transform your mental health journey. Get ready to learn, grow, and thrive with us.
Okay, so have you ever noticed, like in the middle of everything going on, you know how busy we all are these days, that sometimes you just kind of lose touch with, well, yourself?
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's like this constant barrage of information and stuff we have to do that sometimes it feels like there's no space left for, actually thinking about our own feelings and stuff.
Right, it's like we're always on and connected to everything except maybe the most important thing, ourselves. So that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to explore how journaling can help us get back in touch with ourselves and maybe even boost our mental health a bit along the way.
Sounds intriguing. I'm all ears.
So for this deep dive, we're using this really cool guide that's full of daily prompts. Like they've laid out a whole 4-week plan, which I think is super helpful.
Oh, wow, a whole month. That sounds pretty in-depth.
It is, but don't worry, the goal isn't to suddenly become some kind of, professional writer or anything. It's more about making journaling a regular thing, kind of like a self-care routine.
I like that. Self-care is so important these days.
Totally. So first things first, why is journaling even considered good for our mental health in the first place?
Well, it's more than just writing stuff down, This guide explains it really well. It's like journaling is a way to become more aware of your emotions and get things straight in your head. And, it can actually be a big part of healing emotionally.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's kind of like having a safe space where you can be totally honest with yourself without being judged.
Exactly. It's like a conversation with yourself, but on paper,
Totally. And speaking of safe space, this guide lists 6 major benefits of journaling. I found them really interesting, so I thought we could go through them.
Sure, that sounds great. Let's hear them.
All right. The first one is about releasing emotional tension, like how writing can help us let go of all the pent-up stuff we carry around in our heads.
Right. It's like all that stuff swirling around in your head, thoughts, worries, feelings. You just put it all down on paper, and it's like, phew, relief. It frees up space in your mind to actually process things.
Yeah. It's like decluttering, but for your emotions.
Yeah.
Made total sense.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating. There's actually research that suggests writing about your feelings can actually reduce activity in the amygdala, which is the part of your brain that deals with like fear and stress.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. So it's not just like, a feeling of relief. There might be actual physical changes happening in your brain.
Yeah, pretty cool, right? Okay, benefit number 2. Gaining insight into our thoughts and feelings. Actually understanding what's going on inside us.
Yeah. This one is huge. Because when you write things down, you start to see patterns, things that you might not even realize are influencing how you feel or react to things.
I get that. It's like you're suddenly able to step back and observe your own thoughts and feelings from a distance, almost like you're a detective,
Yeah. A detective of your own mind.
All right, benefit number 3. This was cool. Tracking your growth over time. It's about looking back and seeing how far you've come.
I love that about journaling because sometimes you get stuck in the day-to-day and forget how much you've actually grown and learned, but then you read your old entries and it's like, wow, I actually got through that, It's really empowering.
I bet. It's like concrete evidence of your own resilience. Okay, number 4, managing stress through writing. So, how can putting our worries on paper actually help us stress less?
It's like instead of having those anxious thoughts just circling around and around in your head, they're out there, They have a form. And that somehow makes them seem less scary and easier to deal with.
Right. I totally get that. It's like you untangle those thoughts and put them down in a way that makes them feel, more manageable.
Exactly. It's like you're taking control, right?
And, okay, benefit number 5, becoming more mindful and present. So how does journaling do that?
Because it forces you to slow down. You have to actually focus on what you're thinking and feeling at that moment. It's the opposite of just rushing through your day without really paying attention to anything.
That's a good point. And it connects to that whole mindfulness thing that's so popular now, right? Being present in the moment.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a mini mindfulness practice every time you journal.
Awesome. And last but not least, benefit number 6. And this one really speaks to me, feeling safe in your own space. It's your journal. No one else has to see it.
Yeah, that's so important because it means you can truly be yourself, You can write about things you might never tell anyone else. And it's okay, because it's just for you.
It's like your own little secret world, right?
Exactly. And the guide actually mentions that a lot of people find journaling to be like an anchor, especially when they're going through tough times.
An anchor. I love that. Okay, so we've covered why journaling is good for us, but now let's get practical. How do we actually start? Like, where do we begin?
Right, because staring at a blank page can be a little intimidating. But honestly, it's not as complicated as you might think. And this guide has some really good tips on how to get started.
Good, because I think that's where a lot of people get stuck. So, like, what's step one?
Well, the first thing is choosing what you're going to write in. Like, will it be a fancy notebook or just, using the Notes app on your phone?
Oh, yeah, the classic notebook versus digital dilemma. So, which one's better?
Honestly, there's no right or wrong answer. It's all about what works best for you. Some people love the feeling of pen and paper. Others find it easier to type on their phone or computer. Whatever makes you feel comfortable and makes it more likely that you'll actually do it, that's the best way.
I totally agree. It's about finding what you'll actually stick with. Okay, so we've got our notebook or app ready. What's next?
The next step is to try to make it a daily habit. Even just setting aside like 5 or 10 minutes each day, maybe in the morning with your coffee or before bed.
5 to 10 minutes. That doesn't sound too bad. It's about making it part of your routine, right?
Exactly. It's about making it a ritual, something you do consistently, even if it's just for a short time.
Got it. Consistency is key. But then what do you actually write about? Like, especially at the beginning, it can feel hard to know where to start.
Yeah, that's where the start small advice comes in. This guide suggests starting with just a sentence or two, or even just a list of things. No need to write a novel every day.
Okay, that takes the pressure off. So,
Yeah.
like, what would that look like? Just a few words about how you're feeling.
Yeah. Or maybe, what are 3 things I'm grateful for today? Or what's one thing I'm looking forward to? Just something small to get those thoughts flowing.
That makes sense. And it's important to remember that this is for your eyes only, right? So be honest.
Exactly. This is your safe space. Be totally honest and real with yourself. No one's going to judge you.
So true. And if you're ever feeling stuck, like you don't know what to write about, the guide suggests using prompts, which I think can be really helpful.
Oh yeah, prompts are great for those days when you're feeling a little uninspired. And you know what else? The guide mentions creating a calming atmosphere for yourself before you start writing.
Oh, I love that idea. So, like, light a candle, put on some chill music.
Yeah. Make it a little ritual you enjoy, a little time just for yourself.
I'm all for that. Okay, so we've got the basics down,
Right.
and I'm really curious about this 4-week plan they have in the guide. It sounds like a really structured way to explore different aspects of yourself.
It is. It's broken down into 4 weekly themes, starting with self-awareness and mindfulness.
Okay, so week 1, self-awareness and mindfulness. What kind of prompts are we talking about here?
Well, in this week, the prompts are all about getting to know yourself better, really paying attention to what's going on inside. Like, one prompt is, what emotions am I feeling right now, and what might be causing them?
Oh, that's a good one. It makes you stop and think, huh?
Right. And another one is, when today did I feel most present and connected? So it's about noticing those moments when you're really in the zone.
I like that. It's like training yourself to be more mindful. So that's week 1. Then week 2 moves into emotional healing and self-compassion. That sounds pretty intense.
It is powerful stuff. This week is about being kind to yourself, acknowledging your feelings and learning how to work through them. One prompt asks, what's one thing I need to forgive myself for? Which, can be a really big step for a lot of people.
That's a tough one, but so important. And there's another prompt that asks you to write a letter to your inner child filled with encouragement.
Sounds really sweet and healing.
It does, right? Okay, moving on to week 3. This one is called Coping Tools and Personal Growth. So what's the focus here?
So week 3 is all about building resilience, like figuring out what helps you deal with stress and challenges. There's a prompt that asks, what helps me stay calm when I'm anxious or overwhelmed? Which encourages you to think about your coping mechanisms.
Yeah, that's so important, like having a plan for when things get tough. And then there's another one that asks you to think about a challenge you've overcome and how you felt about it.
Right. That one's all about remembering your strengths and how much you've already achieved.
Oh, I like that. Reminding ourselves that we've got this. Okay, and then the final week, week 4, is all about gratitude, purpose, and vision. Sounds pretty uplifting.
It is. It's a great way to wrap up the month. Focusing on the positive things in your life and looking ahead to the future.
So what kind of prompts do they have for this week?
Well, one of them asks, what am I grateful for today and how does that make me feel? It's all about appreciating the good things, big or small.
And another one is all about figuring out what makes you feel passionate and alive, what gives you a sense of purpose.
Exactly. It's about connecting with your values and dreams.
Love it. Okay, so these prompts seem like a really good starting point for anyone who wants to try journaling, but are there any other tips in the guide that might be helpful?
Definitely. There are a few practical tips they mention, like keeping those prompts handy so you don't have to search for them every time. Print them out or write them in your journal.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
They also talk about finding a quiet space where you can really focus and relax, maybe making it a little bit special, like we talked about before, with candles or music.
Right, creating that peaceful atmosphere.
Exactly. And they also encourage you to look back at your old entries every once in a while, kind of reflect on what you've written.
Oh, yeah, to see how you've changed and grown over time. Like, that could be really insightful.
And of course, consistency is key. Just a few minutes each day can make a huge difference. And most importantly, be patient with yourself. Some days will be easier than others.
So true. This is all about self-care and self-discovery. And, some people listening might be wondering, is there any actual proof that journaling really works?
Well, the guide actually cites a bunch of studies that have shown that journaling can help with things like managing emotions, reducing stress, and becoming more self-aware.
Really? So it's not just a feel-good thing. There's actual science backing it up.
Exactly. And it's often recommended by therapists as a way to, supplement therapy sessions. It's a really powerful tool.
That's really impressive. Okay, so what about those of us who are still like, okay, but what do I actually write about? If we're not using prompts.
Oh, there are tons of possibilities. The guide mentions things like just doing a brain dump, writing down whatever's in your head, or writing letters, even if you never send them.
No, like just getting it all out there, no filter. I can see how that could be helpful.
Right. And you can also make lists of things you're grateful for, reflect on past experiences, or even just track your mood each day.
So many options. It's really about finding what works best for you.
Exactly. It's your journal, your space. You get to decide what goes in it.
Perfect. And last question, this one always comes up. How much time do we have to spend journaling each day to really see benefits?
Well, the guide emphasizes that it's more about consistency than quantity. Even just 5 or 10 minutes a day, done regularly, can make a real difference.
Okay, so it's not about writing for hours on end.
Nope, it's about showing up for yourself, even if it's just for a short time.
That makes me feel a lot better. So to wrap this all up, it sounds like these journaling prompts are more than just, writing exercises. They're like little invitations to connect with ourselves on a deeper level.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's about pausing amidst the chaos and really tuning in to what's going on inside.
And it's not about being a perfect writer or anything like that. It's just about having the courage to start.
Right. Just grab a pen or open that app and start writing.
And whether you're processing a tough emotion, celebrating a small victory, or just trying to make sense of your thoughts, you're creating space for healing and growth.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So here's something to think about as we finish up today's deep dive. What could you learn about yourself if you took just 5 minutes to journal today? And how might that self-discovery change your life in the long run?
Great question. It's amazing to think about the power of just a few minutes of reflection each day.
Food for thought, right? Thanks for joining us on this journey of self-exploration through journaling.
It's been a pleasure. I always love exploring these topics with you. See you then.
Thanks for tuning in to the Scenario Podcast. Don't forget to visit scenario.com for more expert tips, articles, and supplements designed to support your mental health. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to subscribe and share it with a friend. Until next time, take care of yourself.